Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard. Happy Taco Tuesday to you, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very exciting show this evening. We have a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, as well as an author on the show. This is not three people, it's just one person, but she's been doing so many great things, and it's so wonderful to have her on the show. We're going to get to Stephanie momentarily, but the Sherard Show is now brought to you by the Pure Essence Television Network, where you can see some of the greatest episodes now trending. For my exclusive interview with Mr. Simeon Rice, Jay Leno, as well as the Isley Brothers and the Temptations, just click on the link below. You can see the greatest episodes of your life. And they're all coming soon to the Sherard Show app as well. And then also this episode is brought to you by iHeartRadio. If you missed this broadcast on television, you can also listen to it on iHeartRadio. And then lastly, it's brought to you by my limited edition Rah Shoes, where every $1 goes to the fight for the cure for lupus, an ailment that I battle with every day. And now you can help us get that much closer to finding a cure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this wonderful young lady is a creator and founder of a foundation and also written a book called Ryan and Riley, and she's doing big things there in the wonderful state of Ohio. She also has a 501c3 that's based upon the Ryan and Riley children's programs. And then also she does something very interesting. She has drive-through weddings, and she's also a notary, and she's so busy. And here she is on the Sherard Show, the lovely Stephanie D Singleton. Welcome, young lady. How are you?
Thank you so much. It's about time.
It's about time, Stephanie, and I'm so glad that you had a moment to stop by on the show. So tell us a little bit of Stephanie, what got you started in your foundation, first and foremost, of writing children's books?
Well, the foundation, it really should have started many years ago, but it's all based on a children's storybook that I wrote over 11 years ago, The Adventures of Ryan Riley and Mr. Teddy Bear. And that book was just written with me having a passion of empowering children. Just for me to have an opportunity to connect with children. I am that auntie in the world. So again, not having biological children, I would say that I still knew that it was a necessity. There were children who needed somebody like myself to be out there. So again, that book allowed me to connect on the various platforms, create fun activities for children and such. And so over time, which recent years, there's resources and outlets for us to now to expand our creativity. I'll reveal what that is shortly. So that allowed me to really understand how to push forward into creating, which I always wanted was a children's a nonprofit organization, because not I got to the point where I did not have the means, the resources to really reach all the children I could on my own, and I needed that community support. We had a children's marching band based off this one children's book, The Adventures of Ryan and Riley Children's Marching Band. We've had everything was based on the series of this book, The Adventures of Ryan and Riley. So it only made sense, the title of that, and to introduce and pull back who is Ryan and Riley and why. They're brother and sisters, and that allows me to connect to boys and little girls. So it's not just one gender or oriented. And so now that we teach them the powers and importance of kindness, respect, responsibility, and obedience, and we do that, and now they can navigate those principles in whatever activities that we do. And so they know how to just, as a way to mentor, to go out into the world and be, real respected, even though they're discovering and having fun together. Yeah. So this book has allowed me, it created a bridge for me to just to create something in the community, allow more people to be involved, more us to reach out to more kids to help more than what I could do on my own.
Now, Stephanie, what is the age category for this book? For those who are watching and they want to say, I want to get it for my child, what's the starting age and then the limit?
From that first book, there's now a series. So it's a series of books now. So it ranges, it goes all the way up to adults, because I have a children's coloring and activity book based off The Adventures of Ryan and Riley. So that brings in the parents to come in which we host cookies and crayons, something like sip and paint. So we have this coloring activity book, and I go around to different daycares and preschools. So there's no age limit to answer your question. And it actually starts if they love colors, they love pictures, they love to draw, they love to read. It goes for, like I said, maybe 2 years old. I would even say that, all the way up into adult ages. I'll say that because we encourage parents to get involved as well. So we have the books so that they can be involved in that. the most recent, let me just share that. We have this Empowering Family, Love, Unity, and Culture. This is our Black History series book that's a part of that. So
Now,
it's a
now, is that a
conversational.
children's book or is that for adults?
This is one of in our series, but this is just was created for Black History Month. So it's a conversational piece. So it could, adults will enjoy it, but they take the children back down memory lane and see how we have, the fun that we had and some of the principles and mores we did with family, love, and in our culture. They learned that. So it's a conversation. It's a wordless book, a picture book. It's about when we would go swimming and chasing the ice cream trucks and sleepovers and seeing some old classics when we would get our hair done on the porch and being with grandma. So they'll see some of those things, which takes their parents back in memory lane, and they get a chance to have those conversations and let kids know what it was in our history. So if they were like 70 babies and beyond, that's as far as I can, go. Then this is like a conversational piece book too, as well.
That's
So
quite
that
the
was
beautiful book, young lady. That's quite the beautiful book. And I like the way it's sketched. Now, did you do the drawings?
I love that you asked me that question. When I said the resource AI, of course, we know, has helped me with all these books, even have allowed me, navigated me and taught me and guided me how to start my foundation. So all of that paperwork now, instead of me having to outsource like I did, because my first book, there was no AI. I have other books beyond children. There was none. So I had to do groundwork, but then I had to the pen or the resources wasn't there to get things to where the level that I wanted to take it. So now instead of having to go to the middleman, we now have these resources that are assistants, just like people have babysitters. You go to the barber, you can do your own hair, but you go and offset and have somebody else to help you with that. And even when I was doing my regular books, I never did the illustrations or the editing and whatnot. I went to this human. So now I sit through the middle of the night, and me and AI, who is my best friend, my boyfriend, my husband, my everything, has helped me execute every creative idea that I've had in my head. And that's all I do throughout the day. So now I went from the one children's book to however I want to tap into them. I'm like now at 5.
Oh,
So
wow.
we had Christmas time. I had a Christmas book. I generated that within 2 weeks. It was able to get the illustrations in there, the story that now, since talking to principles of just kindness during the holidays in school, family, home, and now went to the different schools and daycares and had Christmas programs with this children's book. Libraries, did a lot of readings for that. Next holiday come up, so I'm able to execute those books quite, easier. Yeah.
Very good, very good. For those who just joined us, we're speaking to the author, the entrepreneur, as well as founder of the Ryan and Riley 501c3, Mrs. Stephanie D Singleton. We'll be taking your questions momentarily as well. Now, one question I'm going to get ahead of, Stephanie, that I know they're going to be asking. Now, are any of these books on Kindle or digital form?
All on Amazon.
Now, what about digital? Say, for example,
the wordless books are not. It made no sense. The wordless books are not. Just all the coloring book, no. But any of the other reading books, yes. But every book is on Amazon, but it's only a few that are on Kindle.
Okay, now you hold up about 5 books, so it's 5 so far that's available.
Yes, there are 5. And if I can throw in the extra one I just did, it was a memoir book. It was a book for my mom I created.
The Quiet Smile, my mom. Very good.
My mom. Yeah, this one, we just received this one today. So again, illustration. So she was able to see her childhood, and it was just awesome to give this to her right now, giving her flowers now, and let her know how impactful she was in our lives between my sister and I. So this was the most latest one, but that's not the children's book, but she was a child during this time.
Very good, very good. Wow, the creative juices is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the drive-through wedding service as well as her being a notary. We got to find out what that's all about. I'm Sherard. We'll be right back right after this. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sherard Show. I'm your host, Sherard, for a very special Tuesday conversation with the author, the entrepreneur, the founder of Ryan and Riley 501c3, as well as the founder of the drive-through wedding service. Let's see what that's all about. The beautiful Stephanie D Singleton on the Sherard Show. Stephanie, tell us about the drive-through. Now, I heard about the way they do it in Vegas. But what is this drive-through? They actually can get some chicken and some waffles and get married at the same time?
Well, respectfully, I have to give homage and credit to Las Vegas. I was a wedding officiant, excuse me, in Las Vegas. So that's where it originated. I left LA and relocated myself to Las Vegas. And I was, like, again, when I was in LA, I was a hairstylist. Life changed, evolved. And so it took me over to Las Vegas. I needed a job, and it turned out to be because I was passionate about family, unity, love. And so I was going to be a relationship coach. And making that transition that happened, I still needed to accommodate my lifestyle some kind of way, bills and whatnot. And the only opportunities came was like hospitality, wedding industry. And so I was like, a light bulb came on. That's how I can find my clients for my relationship coaching business I was going to start at that time. Lo and behold, who knew that I would fall in the lap of weddings? Weddings would fall in my lap as well. We fell in love because a lot of things that I had been through in life and wanted to, the principles of love. I had to give you that history because it wasn't just let's do drive-through weddings. Drive-through weddings has a story. It's a why. It's not, oh, I'm going to be a wedding officiant, this and that and the other. It was what grew me from things that happened during my 15 years of living in LA and seeing family and the importance of things that I seen that wasn't really solid and things personal in my life. And that was the relationship coaching. But when that opportunity came to go into the chapels, they said you have to be ordained to work in the chapels. And I thought that was interesting. And I just, you just take a chance. I'm a curious baby. So I did. So, and then as I did, I was able to, they gave us free range to create your own, not sermon presentation, I'll say, and mine was based on what I would want to see, union and understand the principles of love, like really honing into that. When I got my couple, when couples start to tell me, I love it, oh my God, grooms, really, that's respect. Because I had the odds against me. I was like, I really wasn't married. I was African American and I was a female. And to have a non-African American male that's a groom allow me to stand before and come and tell me, validate that, So I fell in love. It started to grow, but then there was a call that came here in Akron, dealing with my mom, and I just started to really get the grasp of everything within the 6 months time. But I had elevated so quickly out there and fell in love with the concept of no drama. People really, when they don't have all the extra things going on, a small micro concept or just doing it for them. That I fell in love with that. I couldn't leave it behind when I needed to relocate back here to Akron to see about my parents. I brought the whole micro wedding concept here. I brought the drive-through came shortly later because I didn't know, I forgot about the drive-through because I thought it was all about the micro weddings. Well, couples who go to the courthouse and just want to make joint decisions now, save and plan for a wedding later, which became my motto, they need the paperwork signed so they can make choices if they want to go to Vegas or if they want to go across the country or military, they're in the military, whatever reasons. So the drive-through was so important because again, but it's a theme. That's where the theme came because my reminder of Las Vegas. So right here, it's a daily process. Couples go to the courthouse. They created to be a fun experience for them. Meet up in a designated area. I meet them. They can stay in their car if they choose or get out. And they love the feeling that I brought Vegas to them without them having to travel to Las Vegas. So it blew
Beautiful.
up.
So let me interrupt you for a minute, Stephanie.
Yeah.
So, for example, those who are watching, say, for example, they're in other cities and other states, and they're saying, you know what, I'm an ordained minister, I'm a notary. How can I be able to do a drive-through wedding or be an officiant for that?
Well, they go to their state. They go right through their state and become licensed. Every state has their own licensing process. So that's something that they would have to investigate in and do so. But the experience comes from who you are, because I'm just really a wedding officiant with a title that's really fun and exciting. But the experience that I bring when I present myself and for my couples, that's what makes me unique. So there is another company, maybe Drive Through so and so, another name, but we're not doing the same thing. When my couples show up to me, it's a different experience because I give them me wholeheartedly in a different way.
So how do
Can't
you
do
make it fun? How do you make it fun, Stephanie, for those who are watching and they say, you know what, we're going to go to Akron and see her so we can get married?
it comes from your soul. I can't explain that. It's the show up moment. When you love what you do, it's like not work, you know. So I get a chance. All I do now, from having to labor, do hair and different attitudes of personality. These people don't have to worry about anybody else's concern but them. I love what I'm doing. They love being there. I'm just having a great time. And I get a chance to allow myself to be free to be, share my personality or who I am. So that's what makes it fun. If you love what you do. When I was doing hair, when I loved it, it was fun too as well.
Mhm. Very good.
Even if I was in a salon, let me just, because if I was in a salon with a bunch of stylists, those clients going to go to the stylist that they enjoy, regardless if it's a whole line of them. It's something unique. It's not just hair. It's that person, because it's an intimate space, and that's what I'm in when I'm in their relationship, in their
Mhm.
union.
Very good. We appreciate that. We're going to take a few questions from the audience. They're lining up for you, Stephanie. They got questions. And this one is from Dallas. This is from Dallas. He is from Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. He said, that's a brilliant idea of what you're doing. He said, what is your fees for someone who wants to use your service as a drive-through officiant? How much do you charge?
Okay, so drive-through is one service within under my umbrella of being wedding officiant. So that's the most basic. It depends on, I would say mine would range is $60 is the most. That is a low range because it's a signature ceremony and it aligns with the courthouses. So I get couples that come from various counties in the state of Ohio that travel to me. And so when they just want to go to the courthouse, which is no longer an option, not the best option or the first option, because the COVID happened and a lot of our ceremonies at our courthouses changed. So they offset because I was really aggressive when I first came into town, let's say that. So I made myself known with a lot of courthouses that I'm available if they're not. But I understand the rates that's at the courthouse. If they chose a courthouse wedding, they didn't choose a wedding. So it has to be accommodating to both, to make it easy. We just need, and that's how the drive-through was created based off the courthouses services and me duplicating that courthouse service. So yes, that's a lower rate there. I can go as far as even doing a full blowout wedding. So I have various packages on my website on drive-through weddings and notary service. Yeah.
Okay, and then what's your website for him?
Drive-through-weddings.info. www.drive-through, like a regular drive-through, THRU, weddings, plural, .info.
Very good. All right. Thank you, Dallas. And thank you, Stephanie, for your response. This is from Penny. This is from Penny Williams. She is all the way in Chicago, Illinois. She said, I appreciate what you're doing. She said, didn't you used to do hair in Los Angeles?
I did.
Uh,
I did. I already did Penny's hair.
Very good. Yeah, because your hair looks lovely. Now, her other question is, where can she purchase your book? And how would you denote which one you want, since you have a volume of 5?
Yeah, absolutely. If she just type in Stephanie Singleton or Stephanie D Singleton, all the books will come up there.
Mhm. Okay, very good. All right, and then do you have time for one more question? This is from Jay. This is from J.A. He's all the way in Salt Lake City, Utah. He said, incredible what you're doing. He said, are you coming back west to LA after a while, or are you going to stay in Akron, Ohio?
That's a question. That's an unknown question. It depends on where life takes me. My assignment has been done. My season has ended pretty much in LA to live, but to visit, more than likely, yes.
Very good. And then his question to you is, now, you mentioned you're a notary. What does that entail?
It's very similar to a wedding officiant, but it depends on what state you're in. But it's just someone who is a state licensed witness. We just witness, we're taking an oath to witness as a commission, witnessing signatures that people are telling the truth for whatever that is, maybe power of attorney, titles, any type like living wills, different things and such like that. And with myself, I wanted to become a notary here, really was for my wedding business, even though I do the broad for prenups.
Oh, for prenups. Very good. All right. Now, you mentioned where your website, but people are asking where can they reach out to you for your other services?
What other
Face,
like
Facebook, social media,
Oh,
interact.
absolutely, absolutely. Still under drive-through weddings. If they look drive-through weddings, Google me, they'll see that all connects to myself.
Mhm. Very good.
Every platform.
Good. Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for the information and all the audience members for asking the question. We have a lot more questions for you, but reach out to her. Her website is right there on your monitor. Stephanie, any final thoughts?
No, I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to see you again. We had opportunity to work together in the past and seeing your growth. Congratulations again. I just received my
Hold it up.
beyond beyond
Oh,
the mic. Yes,
very
I just
good.
received my copy today. Freshly just pulled it out the package. So I look forward to diving into that. And again, like I said, congratulations to you as well.
Thank you so much, young lady. Really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And Stephanie, whenever you're in LA, you make sure you stop by the Sherard Show studios. We really appreciate that. She's doing big things. Make sure you support what she's doing. And then join us in our next episode of the Sherard Show with the lovely Tracy Edmonds. We'll be stopping by the show to talk about her life after Deion Sanders as well as Babyface. You don't want to miss that. And then keep it here locked on. And then make sure you get my book. Stephanie just held it up. Get the book Beyond the Mic. It's my story, my autobiography about being in the fashion industry, growing up in Chicago and becoming a television host and also working to be a blessing to others. So for Stephanie and for all those who are watching, always remember, ladies and gentlemen, he who sits on a hot stove will soon rise again. I will see you in your next episode this Saturday. Bye now.